Erica from A Little Insanity. Today I have an easy recipe for you that our family has lovingly dubbed the Blessed Burritos. Now this isn't one of my raw recipes, but it is a whole food recipe that is vegetarian. It can easily be adapted for anybody that might be vegan as well. So I try to do a couple of really important things when I cook, and the first of which is use as whole foods as possible. The other thing that I always try to do when I'm cooking non-raw ingredients is to cook in as much bulk as possible. Not only does that save me money, but down the road it's going to save me time. It's nice to have a prepared meal to pull out in a pinch, and it can be scaled to any size that you need for your family. Okay, so I'm going to start out with my wet mixture. I'm going to be using 1/4 cup olive oil. Now you can adjust the flavors of this recipe to be your own. I only add sea salt because the beans that I buy are already seasoned, as well as the salsa is going to add a lot of flavor. So I'm going to start out with just 1/2 teaspoon of sea salt. I'm going to add in 1 can of black olives where I've reserved 1/2 of the brine or the juice that it comes in, and I've minced it in my Vitamix. So that way there's little pieces of olives that will be blended into the mixture as we go. The next thing you're going to want to add is 2 cups of your favorite salsa, and in this case I have pureed it thoroughly in my Vitamix before adding it. So the last ingredient to go into my wet mixture is cheese. In this case I'm using 2 cups of mozzarella that has been cubed in my Vitamix. Yes, the Vitamix even cubes cheese. It does everything. But you can feel free to use a cheddar or a pepper jack, whatever cheese you like. Now you're just going to want to take these wet ingredients and you're just going to give them a quick stir. That way they're well blended. Once you have your wet mixture stirred together, you're going to want to go ahead and add in your rice. Now I already pre-cooked this rice. It's just simply 2 cups of long grain brown rice to 2 cups of water in a rice cooker. I'm just going to simply add the brown rice wet mixture. The neat thing about adding the brown rice at this stage is because it's still hot, it's going to melt that cheese and it's going to blend all of these ingredients together. Give it a really good stir. So as you mix this wet mixture, your cheese is going to begin to melt and it's going to create this wonderful kind of gooey mixture. If you're a vegan, just skip adding the cheese. This recipe is still delicious without it. The next thing you're going to add to your wet mixture is 4 cans of whole pinto beans that have been drained and rinsed. You can use any combination of black and pinto. In this case, I only had pinto around, but I really do love a combination of black and pinto beans together. In those go. The last ingredient to go into the mixture is 4 cans of refried beans. These beans happen to also be seasoned, so read the labels carefully, so that way you don't over-season or over-salt your mixture. And once again, you can also use a combination of refried black beans or refried pinto beans. It's just up to you and whatever your taste may be. Once all of your ingredients are in the bowl, you're going to want to make sure that everything is well combined. Stir it up really good so that all the rice and the olives and the salsa are well mixed together. Okay, so once we're done stirring the mixture well together, we're ready to assemble the burritos. So you're going to want to take a generous piece of plastic wrap and set it on the kitchen counter. I love this plastic wrap because it slides and cuts at the same time. Ugh, I hated wrestling with the plastic wrap. You're going to want to go ahead and take your burrito-sized flour tortilla and place it right in the middle of the plastic wrap. So now all you need is a good-sized spoon and your mixture, and we're going to go ahead and assemble the burrito. So the key is really to not overstuff the burrito. I'm going to say it's probably 2 or 3 tablespoons worth of mixture into the middle of the tortilla. That looks like about right. If you overstuff it, it will blow out the tortilla, so just warning. And what I like to do is I just kind of roll the tortilla, and again, this process gets quicker as you go. So as you learn how to use it, it will go much quicker. So I just roll in the middle, and then I fold the 2 sides in. This works a lot better too when your tortillas are really fresh. I've actually had mine for a couple days, so sometimes they tend to peel. You're going to roll over, and then you're going to roll over again. And there you have 1 burrito. Now this doesn't look all that pretty on the sides. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. But you know what? Once you roll in your plastic wrap and you put it in the freezer, these are going to look like perfect little round burritos. So then I take the plastic wrap and I fold it over the top. And I pull really tight. And I pull again. And then I pull each side even. And it makes a perfect burrito. Now, the really cool thing about this is that these will store in your freezer for up to a couple of months. We tend to use them mostly for my husband's lunches, and because they're frozen solid and we don't really like to use the microwave all that often, is he will pull one out in the morning and he'll leave it on his desk. And by about noon, it's already kind of come to room temperature, and so he just pops it in the microwave just to get it a little bit warm. If you do decide to microwave it straight out of the freezer, you're going to want to take it out of this plastic wrap, and you're going to want to take a little piece of parchment or wax paper, roll it up, and put it in the microwave for between 1 and 2.5 minutes, depending on your microwave. So all you gotta do is just keep making the burritos in the same manner that I just showed you. And once you get the hang of it, things will speed up and will go much quicker, and you can almost do it with your eyes closed. Remember, they don't have to be perfect, because once they freeze, they're very forgiving. You just don't want to over-package them. So if you're like me and you're going to freeze these for future use, one of the little tips that I like to do is once I get about 10 burritos, I lay them on their sides and I put a very large piece of plastic wrap underneath them. And I fold them together. Not only will this make it a lot easier to store these burritos in your freezer, you don't have a bunch of individual burritos flying all over the place, but it will also help protect them from freezer burn. And there you go. You got a brick of burritos that'll be very easy to freeze. So if you're like me and you don't really care for breads all that much or tortillas, or if you're just trying to stay as whole food as possible, a little trick I like to do is to take just a little plastic baggie, and then I take a couple scoops and fill it into the bag, and then I roll it over and I freeze it just like that. So that when I have a burrito craving, I can actually take that out, warm it up, and put it into a large green leaf lettuce and roll it burrito style. It makes a great alternative to the tortilla. Feel free to mix up this recipe and make it your own. I'd love to hear back what you guys have added to the recipe to make it even more tasty. If you want the full ingredient list and the procedure, you can visit here down below on YouTube or over on the website at alittleinsanity.com. In the meantime, if you have any questions or comments, you can leave them below. Have a great day. Until next time. Bye. God bless.